What is going on? We back at it again. Some more Beyond Dragon Ball Super Merno Revenge. You know what I'm saying? They just launched the multiversal spirit bomb type beat, and that nigga still pushing it back low key. Like I knew that was gonna happen. That nigga is built different. You know what I'm saying? On me. And if it do hit, will it even kill him though? We'll have to see though. Like, I don't know. The Grand Priest was watching that, bro. They help me push. You know what I'm saying? Now he's just gonna watch. Nigga, help me push this bitch, bro. On me. But this is the finale. You know what I'm saying? We're doing both of these, so this might be like an hour video. So yeah, we in for a bumpy ride. You feel me? Hit the video up with a like, man. Comment down below and subscribe. Roll to 3K. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Right on Patreon, Twitch, and the game channel. Link in the description down below. You feel me? Also subscribe to Alex. Get both to 2 million subscribers. You feel me? Also, Diamond should be out on my Patreon. By the time you guys are watching this, either Monday or Tuesday, to be honest with you. Monday or Tuesday. I know I'm late, but better late than never. But yeah. W ratio. And let's dive on it. The multiversal spirit bomb.
As our story continues with our heroes being shown having to do everything within their abilities and making sure that the multiversal spirit bomb had gone to consume Merno, as there now appears to be a stalemate with the Grand Priest having to look on, that's when the Grand Priest went on to say to himself, "Your resistance has gone as far as to show me how deep your hatred runs in wanting to obliterate all of creation for the sake of your own ego. He is obsessed by wanting to right the wrongs that he believes were made by the gods. Yet when staring at the face of your own annihilation, your hatred is what drives you to never break," he says. "Vados, is there anything more that we can do that will get this bomb to envelop him whole?" Whis asks. "At this rate, he will turn and use the bomb against us," with Vados responding, "It's stuck. The bomb's not budging, Whis. He's waiting for us to burn through our power so that he may throw this spirit bomb back at us." Hey, Kefla shouts. "He's slowly nudging the bomb our way. We're losing ground here, you
nigga,
guys.
help us,
Quickly,
nigga, stop standing there.
Your power," Saiyan Golden Majin Buu shouts. "He's gaining control over it," Mastered Ultra Instinct Jiren shouts. "We must not relinquish our positions. Hey Saiyan, keep pushing." "He's taking control," one of the Omni Guards says. "Quickly, prepare for the worst. Defend the kings with your life and do not let that bomb reach their vicinity. I will teleport them back to the palace in case things get out of hand and we are no longer able to control the situation," the second Omni Guard says. "Stand by," as the Omni Kings themselves seem to be enjoying every second of this, as the Omni Kings went on to shout, "I've never seen anything like this before, have you? What if he sets that bomb off and it explodes?" with the second Omni King responding, "No, I've never, but this is the greatest battle that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I wonder what he will do with that spirit bomb now." As with Merno shown having to hold the spirit bomb, that's when Merno went on to shout, "So,
is he helping?
The pack of rats have failed yet again. A valiant effort, I must add, but now this weapon is mine. I told you from the very beginning, my power is incomprehensible. No amount of energy that you collect will ever..."
Bro, stop talking, bro. Look at you. Look at your dad. Look at you. Look at your dad. He not no scratch. He not beat up. Scratches, beat the fuck up. You feel me? Be quiet, bro.
Destroy what I am, and now to finish this for good, once and for all. But then, it was only as Merno was holding the spirit bomb where the Grand Priest went on to chime in, "I agree. It's time that we put an end to this nightmare you've caused for good, child." As with the Grand Priest now being shown having to hover in front of Vegito, that's when he went on to continue, "If your life can change just as it once changed before, then it can always be changed again for the better if allowed for it to happen. But no matter how many chances you were given, you just don't want to change. Fallen angel, your fate is inescapable. You will be eradicated from this world whether you have untold amounts of power or not. Let the weapon created through the unity of all life within the multiverse be your ultimate undoing. You were given one too many chances to see if you can truly change, he says. But you failed. You will be extremely lucky to survive this if you are able to, boy. I wanted to see if you would change, the Grand Priest says, to see if there was anything left of the goodness that I once saw within you remaining. But I now see that there is none, only darkness, he adds. Yet my foolishness is what led me to believe that there was still hope that remained. I never intended to lose you, the Grand Priest tells Merno, but was hoping you'd change. But to my great disappointment, you have not changed one bit, boy.
So what's up with you?
Merno says, wait, hold on. What are you doing?
Ain't no way.
For the first time, take a look at a flashback back when Merno was actually a good angel. It was only from that point on where the Grand Priest went on to continue.
Look at stab different too. Damn.
You only to have you turn your back on everything that I have done for you, he says. I saw greatness within you, a young, capable, and powerful angel who I sought to take my place when my day comes. Where this inexplicable evil had come from is beyond me, but only you would know, now wouldn't you, he asks. I watched you grow and trained you since birth, only to later see that you were a mere animal that just so happened to resemble an angel. Like every teacher, I wanted you to become the best, and even to one day surpass me in every field there was that I have taught you in. You were once a humble and giving angel, one without pride and envy, he says. I watched as you trained your brothers and sisters, teaching them and guiding them along the way as any big brother would in your position. But then I've watched as you murdered them in cold blood, your own siblings, only to draw me out in the process to battle. And when it came down to it, I saw the look in your eyes when you saw the Omni King for the first time. You were in disbelief that we, as superior beings as you deemed, had to bend to the will of a lesser life form due to their childish nature. But what you fail to understand is that you can't replace God, Merno. You cannot replace those who have already existed long before you. And so I watched as this evil festered inside of you, disgusted by the thought of having to obey such a being, thinking that you knew it all and believed that you could do better, he says.
Like, boy, no way, boy.
You know that it was within your best interest to do what you were told. You sought out the book of life and wanted to rewrite history to your liking. That is not how this goes, Merno. Your fate has been decided. Let the power of those whom you hate so much be what destroys you for good. To whereas the Grand Priest was then shown having to use enough force and now resulting in the Genki Dama having to consume Merno, it was only during that moment where Merno had attempted in doing everything he could to stop this as Merno went on to shout, no, I am the one above all, not you.
Yo, look like you found
them. I won't let it. No! We stand united, the Grand Priest tells him. United as one. As with Merno now shown having to lose complete control of the advantage that he once had, it was only then right then and there where the Grand Priest had gone in pushing the Spirit Bomb directly into Merno, with Merno from that point being shown having to be swallowed whole by the multiversal Spirit Bomb. It was during that point
is he gone though?
Had gone in pushing Merno back so much so that everything that resided within the universe itself was on the brink of destruction, as even the Omni Kings themselves could not believe this. That's when the Omni Kings went on to shout, wow, 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 it got him! Merno's been overtaken by the multiversal Spirit Bomb. Oh my goodness! I know, says the second Omni King, but the light is so bright. Will the bomb explode? I think it's about to explode. Everything is shaking. In which, as the gigantic Spirit Bomb was shown having to make its way deeper into outer space, in obliterating every single star that it came across, that's when Beerus went on to shout, my universe! The bomb is going to destroy us all. It's so strong, Vegeta shouts, I can't see a thing. Everyone brace yourselves. Margarita, Whis, quickly, Vato shouts. Our barriers must shield us from the impact. Look at that thing go, Kefla chimes in. It's shredding everything in its path. But then, to reassure that the multiverse multiverse along with our heroes are not destroyed, the Grand Priest went on to create a barrier and chiming in by responding, "I will protect you all. Stay within the walls of my shield and brace yourselves," he says, as it was only right then and there during that moment where the multiversal spirit bomb had gone and igniting itself deep within outer space, and going as far as to create such a powerful and gigantic explosion that if it were not for the Grand Priest, everything would have been destroyed. As the Grand Priest went on to continue, "I use the portion of my power to seal each universe. The explosion of this attack will not destroy it. However, most of all within it may perish. These acts may be restored and repaired. Merno's actions will be reversed soon," he says. To whereas we finally then see how the spirit bomb had gone off in destroying everything in sight, with everything now slowly having to settle on in, that's when Kefla went on to ask, are we dead? Holy crap, that was terrifying. Gosh, look at it all. There's nothing out there but dust and rocks. With Android 35 chiming in, there was no way that without the Grand Priest's barrier could we have survived something like that on our own. Pay attention, Beerus says. Is he gone? Was he destroyed? I'm not reading his energy. With Vegito responding, "I'm not sure either, but I don't sense his life energy anywhere." We watched him take the hit head on, Vados says. "Anyone sense him anywhere?" With Whis responding, "I don't. And I don't think he was able to escape on time either." What say you, Grand Minister Margarita asks, with the Grand Priest responding, "From what I saw, he was trapped and unable to get out of the way of that attack when it made contact with his body. However, as I scan the multiverse, I am unable to pick up his life energy from either of them." Omni guards,
you never know with this
are the
nigga, bro.
Kings safe? The Grand Priest asks. "Are they all right?" With the Omni guards responding,
"Are
"They are both
right?
safe and protected, Grand Minister. Our barrier was able to hold and there was no harm
Not a
done
black
onto
hole,
them."
nigga?
Good, we says. "The power of that spirit bomb would have leveled everything, including us, if we didn't take measures to protect ourselves. Give it a few minutes so we can truly be sure," the Grand Priest says.
No, dead
"The
ass.
end result left no stone unturned, and his energy has completely disappeared." How fitting, the Grand Priest says. "A black hole, a symbol of everything you were deep down at your very core. If this is truly the end, then we will begin the process of rebuilding all of the damages that were made since his arrival. You brought this onto yourself through your own actions, Merno." As the Omni Kings are yet still excited as they also went on to chime in, "You weren't lying when you said this was going to be the greatest battle, Grand Priest. Look at that giant black hole over there. What an explosion," says
that
the
was
second
an explosion,
Omni
bro.
King. "That was one of the biggest explosions that I've ever seen." "So what do you think?" Kefla asks. "There's nothing out there. Do you think that did it? Do you think that finally did him in for good?" With Jiren responding, "If his essence and energy cannot be felt, then this could truly be it," he says. "I don't see how anyone
You truly
could have
never know with
survived
this nigga
something
though,
like
bro.
that,
He
so
was
I
built
don't
different,
think
bro.
he made it." "Then I don't think we are needed," the Grand Priest says. "All appears quiet." "Then so be it," he says. "Come, you can all rest here for the moment," he says. "You may all take the time that you need to heal and catch your breath. Angels, if you may, heal everyone if you are able to, and take this moment to let loose." "Gah, it's about time," Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegito says. "That bastard
Hey,
was stronger
y'all
than
need
I
a break."
ever imagined him being. He took everything out of us and then some. He almost reversed it. Oh, thank goodness it's over and he's gone. Ugh, good riddance," Beerus shouts. "It's about time he died. That freak almost threw that bomb right back at us." With Android 35 responding, "Ugh, what a struggle. That was close." As even then with the Omni Kings still having to be excited, that's when they both went on to shout,
deserve a break,
"That was
bro.
the greatest thing I have ever seen."
Hey, bro, take time off, bro. But I ain't gonna lie. That break over with, man. Take like a month, 2 months off. After that, bro, go hit the lab, bro. Go hit the lab, bro. Cause I don't trust this shit, bro. It's like this is. It looks too good to be true, bro. Like he really gone.
Oh, that was so much fun.
We have another
He's
episode
gone.
though.
The spirit bomb destroyed him. I don't think anything will ever top that.
What if he pull a freezer, man?
Everything went boom. Oh, that was the most exciting thing ever. What a battle. This was so amazing. As the Grand Priest appeared to be
he's still
staring
talking,
deep into
bro.
outer space, it was
I saw the
only
red
from that point
text.
on when Whis went on to approach the Grand Priest by telling him, "Thank you for all that you have done for us, Grand Minister. There is no telling what would have happened if you haven't helped us." As with the Grand Priest remaining eerily quiet, that's when Whis went on to ask, "Is everything all alright with you, Grand Minister? You look a bit disturbed. Is there anything that may be troubling you during this time with the Grand Priest responding?
Since he did survive.
Not over, Whis. I sense him now. As to the horrifying shock of everybody there, a voice then went on to shout, "You disgusting slaves! How dare you? Did you truly think I'd die?" As lo and behold, up above them, we then see how a portal had then began to open up, with the silhouette of Merno being shown in the background. That's when he went on to continue, "I am not done with you. I am Merno, the strongest and mightiest life form to ever exist. I am the ruler of all things, the supreme god of
did mess him up though.
In which, as Merno was then shown having to step on through and looking incredibly battle damaged, it only now appears as though Merno is in a severely weakened state, as he then went on to continue, "And I live you. You hurt me. You nearly killed me. You and your collective weapon. But now what will you do? Now where will you run?
Nigga, your dad's still here.
All of you will pay dearly for what you did to me. Especially you, Grand Priest. If that was your all, now you are left with nothing. And since you are left with nothing, as damaged as I am, now it's time for me to pay you back for what you just did to me." As with tension now at an absolute high, it was
look at you
right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of Merno versus the Multiverse manga chapter number 37 semi-finale special then comes to a close.
Is this nigga delusional?
Now this is it, the final manga chapter
the
in the
final
story
one
of Merno now, in which, similar to the incident.
Is this nigga delusional? Like, nigga, that shit almost killed you. You fucked up right now. What's wrong with this nigga, bro? Your dad's still here. Why is this nigga talking crazy? Like, why is he talking crazy? Like his dad cannot simply just beat the dog shit out of him, bro. What's wrong with this nigga, bro? If anything, you should have went into hiding for a little minute and healed yourself or something. No, you should have pulled back up. What a dumbass.
Final chapter of the story
Look
of Merno,
you holding your
Merno being shown having to exit through one of his portals, by from there being shown having to barely survive the power of the multiversal spirit bomb.
I knew it took good to be true.
Battle damaged and angry Merno now looking to
thank God he didn't pull a freeze or cell and like take my senses like quick.
You animals almost did it. Well, let it be known that with your own eyes, you now see that there is nothing that any of you can ever do that can destroy me. So now what will you do, Merno asks. Think you stand a chance again?
I like that boy. What you gonna do about the second one, Inoki? You know what I'm saying? The second one, yeah, nigga.
Against me now? Even now, damaged as I am, I would still annihilate all of you.
I believe it.
Failed.
Except for him, though.
It's impossible, Jiren shouts. How in the world did this freak just survive that, Kefla asks. There's just no way this is happening. You are indeed every bit as resilient as you are dangerous, the Grand Priest mumbles. So it's come to this, has it? Then if this is what is needed, then it shall be done, he adds. I am going to thoroughly enjoy every second of this, Merno says. I slaughtered you animals once before, and if it wasn't for the Grand Coward reversing the hands of time, you'd all still be dead right now. This time, however, I will not be so quick to snatch your life, no. I'm going to torture you all, one by one, Merno says. The multiverse will echo by the sounds of your screams.
Your dad is still here.
Why won't you die, Vegito shouts.
No, facts, though.
Everyone on guard. There's no telling what he's about to do, so we must stick together as one. Bring it, Angel. We'll die fighting if that's the case. Oh, you'll die regardless if you stand united as one, Merno says. What more could any of you worms hope to do that your precious
we looking at that ball like, boy, stop it.
Even with the combined power of both mortals and gods, I stand the test of time as the mightiest life form to ever exist. You can't break what is unbreakable, slaves. Oh, this is madness, Beerus says. What do we do? Should we attack him while he's hurt? With Whis responding, do not engage, Lord Beerus. We will wait and see what he will try first. As Merno went on to continue, just look at you all. Tasty, tasty, beautiful fear. What you are looking at is the representation and living embodiment of what nightmares are made of. Wasn't this supposed to be an act that was put forth to entertain those two, Merno asks? Wasn't that your original ploy? We meet again, little worms, face to face. It's been a very long time, hasn't it? I know you remember me by now. I was the one who wanted you dead. The original angel you sentenced to death never really died, but I lived. And I waited for the day where I would finally be able to shred you for your betrayal. Now I know who you are, says one of the Omni Kings. You were the one who wanted my power and control over creation. Now I remember everything. You really did survive. I never liked your attitude towards me, he says, and I'm starting to get annoyed by your presence here. You will never have my power, says the Omni King, because you won't be alive to take it.
Hold on.
Coming from you. You should have never been put into power,
Not Zeno talking shit.
The title of Omni King was reserved for a true leader, and you're looking at him. You two have lived long enough, and the longer you stay alive, the more you spit in my face with your worthless existence. Time's up, Merno says, as the Omni Kings went on to point out, hey, look at his body language. It looks like he's positioning himself. I see it, says the first Omni King. I think he's about to try and do something.
Right, don't that nigga know all they gotta do is squish?
Because as Merno went on to clench his fist, he then went on to respond, I wonder what the inside of your head looks like. All the reason for me to find out then. I'll just resume my plans by butchering the two of you instead. That little dumpling, the Grand Priest, will fall
Your dad
after.
is still here.
He's himself of power anyway. I don't sense that fighting spirit coming from him anymore.
No,
this is it,
this
Merno
nigga
says.
is no.
My revenge to be seen.
You fucked up, no, bro.
It's payback time, Merno shouts. Now give me your souls. And the moment Merno was then shown,
bro, he did not deplete himself with his power. No, bro, stop.
That very moment where Mastered Ultra Instinct Vegeta went on to turn towards everyone
I'm
and
using
shouted,
head cannon.
quickly, he's going after the Omni King. Stop him now. Let's go. But it was only then, to everyone's surprise, including Merno's, when he saw the Grand Priest then step forward, as the Grand Priest went on to tell Merno, that's far enough, boy. You will not proceed any further. Whoever said my energy was depleted and
that's
my
what I'm
fighting
saying.
spirit was exhausted, the
That's
Grand
what I'm saying,
asks, bro. I never wanted for it to come to this, but you truly have forced my hand in this. You're bluffing, Merno says. We fought to a stalemate and you've run yourself down. I'm better than you and I've proved it. But if you want to die first, then why
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, bro.
But
you really didn't.
Merno began to notice something very unusual about the Grand Priest, as Merno went on to ask, you snake, why are you so calm? What is this echo of energy that I'm sensing? There was a good reason on why I told you that you were not ready for my absolute best inside the room of spirit and time, the Grand Priest says.
Facts.
And that came with good reason, as we only then get to see how the Grand Priest is seemingly enough beginning to power up, as everything within space itself is seemingly enough changing. That's when the Grand Priest went on to tell Merno, but now you will learn to understand exactly what I meant by those words, defiler. I tried giving you multiple chances to change, to accept your fate,
for you, son?
and to hold yourself accountable for your actions, and yet you spat in my face. And now that the Great Kings are aware of your history and emotionally stable, it is time that I showed you a power that goes far beyond your reach. As you once stood by me as my greatest student and angel, there were just some things that you were just not ready for, and now you will see my all. As a powerful blinding light had then began to overtake everybody there.
Oh my god.
Merno, that's when Merno went on to shout, what is that? That's impossible. You were hiding this from me the whole time?
The whole time.
Energy, Vegito said.
Wow, you went full power. This nigga was still holding back. Damn shame. I tell your stupid ass that. You didn't want to listen to you.
As It's overwhelming. It feels like the entire multiverse is shaking, Beerus shouts. Just what kind of power is this? It just can't be, Merno says, as with the gigantic light now being shown having to overtake the entire universe, Merno was from there shown waiting and finding out exactly what lies on the other side.
About to get one
with
shot.
the gigantic light now being shown fading with the mysterious aura shown behind it, it was within that very moment where the Grand Priest went on to address Merno by telling him, "You will now bear witness to a power which was only ever used once before. A power that is truly limitless in its nature. Since the dawn of creation, this power has remained dormant for generations.
Grand Priest.
Its only ever need came from engaging with the great king himself. This is the ultimate power," the Grand Priest says.
The great king.
Power that is without limits. And since the dawn of the multiverse itself, you have now forced me into unleashing it, Merno. I've never seen this battle form before. What is this? How did you get this, he asks. As with all three of the other angels, Whis, Margarita, and Varos being shown, that's when all three of them went on to say, "Praise be the Father of angels. We hail in your divine presence." What is that, Jiren asks. "I don't know," Beerus responds. "I've never seen an angel look like this before."
Divine power.
This is it, Vegito says, as indeed it was, because at long last, since the dawn of creation itself,
oh my god, Giga Chat. I guess Arjun out of his boat. You know what I'm saying? This nigga 2 power, he growth spurt and muscles. Damn. Hey, bro. This nigga hate. Oh my god. Hey, I try to tell your son, bro. I try to tell him that this whole shit was a delusional ass pipe dream, bro. But he won't listen to he won't listen. You know what I'm saying? So look, take that switch, that divine switch, whip his ass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Spit on his face. Give him the you know what I'm saying? Multiple times, bro. Dump him out. All that, bro. All that. Do it. Oh, God, he about to beat that nigga ass, bro.
See how through the light itself, the Grand Priest had gone in his true form now onto the surface.
Damn,
it was
the
only
great
in
king.
that moment where the Grand Priest went on to tell Merno, "You were given plenty of chances to quit while you were ahead.
Oh
now
my
behold
God.
before your very own eyes, child.
That
this
nigga never
is
stood a
my
chance,
supreme
bro.
fighting form, the apex of angelic power, an omnipotent power second to the great kings." With Merno responding, "You had a supreme battle form? So this is your all? The true depth of your power? But that's not possible. I am the peak of strength and divinity. My body is the ultimate vessel of war and power, not yours. So where did this just come from? I intentionally preserved myself in hopes of getting you to change," the Grand Priest says. "I searched your heart as well as your soul, hoping I'd be wrong. But my senses did not deceive me. This time I can assure you that you will be annihilated without a trace." "Annihilate me, will you?" Merno asks. "Well,
wow, you
and
talking
your
shit,
slaves
bro.
already tried and you failed, but let me assure you of something. If there will be anyone who is going to be destroyed
Nigga, you don't have your halo behind your back anymore, fam. Be quiet.
here today, then it's
I just love
going
that shit
to
too.
be you." As in a desperate attempt of having to kill his father off, Merno had gone in blasting the Grand Priest from point blank range, only to then moments later find out that this blast itself had literally no effect on the Grand Priest, with even Merno now being surprised by this by responding he didn't even move. "Next to the great kings, I possess the greatest existing power to ever be seen by a pair of eyes," the Grand Priest says.
Damn, standing on business.
Eyes, gods, or angels. No matter how much you try and no matter how high you attempt to
Hey, nah, I see why they call the nigga father, bro. On me. All father. You know what I'm saying?
climb, your fate is already written out, he says, and you will be given a taste of your own medicine for what you've done. And you think that scares me, Merno says? This only shows me that as a direct descendant, I am also capable of obtaining this Omni power, he shouts. As within the quickness with Merno shown having to shatter reality in his attempts of having to catch the Grand Priest off guard, without even having to look, that's when the Grand Priest went on to catch Merno's punch by telling him, I can already read your movements. No attack or tactic will help help save you from the execution that you have coming, boy. Does it hurt your pride knowing that you cannot hurt me, he asks. Oh, I don't buy it one bit, Merno responds. Down you go. You will bend your knee to my will. If conventional attacks won't do the trick, then I'll just crush you to death by using untold amounts of gravity on your body. But despite Merno having to use this gravity ability to pin the Grand Priest down, that's when the Grand Priest was once again shown unaffected by asking, what gravity? No, Merno says, this can't be happening. You were so much different when we fought before, so how is this happening? Why isn't anything working, coward? Tell me what you're doing. If this power can be passed down, then it's only a matter of time before I obtain the same thing, he shouts. Oh, if only I was able to siphon this power. He's locked his power in ways where I can't reach it. You spent the remainder of your days since your original exile studying and mimicking all kinds of life forms throughout history in order to replicate their every move. A master of the dark arts you are, but your mimicry is useless against me, defiler. You assume that by rebuilding yourself in hiding that you would one day win against us. How wrong you were, the Grand Priest says. As with a casual flick of the wrist, the Grand Priest was then shown having to shatter through Merno's gravity bind by telling him, your gravity binding technique will not enslave me. Let it be destroyed for good. Did you just see that, Vegito asks? He ripped right through Merno's gravity bind like it was nothing. Did you just catch what he told him, Beerus asks? Does that mean the Grand Priest has disabled Merno's ability to use that technique now? He can do that? As we only then see how Merno was beginning to get very
guys can do all the fuck they want to do. You feel me?
There was seemingly nothing at this point that Merno could have done to get the upper hand on the Grand Priest. As
now he's throwing hands, Lord have mercy.
Ridding one technique from my vast arsenal of attacks doesn't matter. I will employ every attack I've learned and acquired to kill you. Every trick, every ability, every opportunity that I can get will be used to tear you apart. And every bit of it will be faced with overwhelming resistance and force, the Grand Priest responds. Let this be proof that after millions of years spent rebuilding your broken vessel, that it was all for nothing. Does this frustration you are expressing remind you of anything, he asks? It was what every living creature had to endure when you tortured them to death, he says. Rather than plead and atone for your sins the correct way, you only managed to now dig yourself into a much deeper hole than you can possibly even dream of crawling out of.
Look at the size difference, bro.
Could even
really look like that nigga dad, bro. Oh, I just sternal
with such untold amounts of force that even the
dad for real.
As they're watching this, are losing their minds. As the Omni Kings went on to shout, "Oh my goodness, what a shot! Did you see? I did," says the second Omni King. That's the way, Grand Minister. Show that angel who's in control. And with Merno now being shown holding onto his stomach and feeling great amounts of pain, it was only from there where the Grand Priest had gone and placing one of his fingers on Merno's chest by telling him, your evil soul will be extinguished by the very one you sought to kill. Let's go back to the very beginning, he says. As with one solid shot to Merno's heart courtesy of a 1-inch punch, the Grand Priest attack was in fact so effective that all of space-time and reality itself around Merno was beginning to shatter, as Android 35 went on to respond, hey look, that looks like some kind of a wormhole. I can't tell because the fabric of reality around them is shattering all over the place just like before, but worse. It appears worse this time because it is, Margarita responds. Merno has been struck with such tremendous amounts of force that it appears as though he is being sent somewhere, not only into a different dimension, but time itself is changing. They don't appear to be moving forward, but they appear to be going back. And so it is, we says, our prayers have been answered. Yes, get him, Father Votto shouts. The Grand Minister had often spoken about this power and battle but to see it in
take a seat, bro. Pop a squat.
Honor and a
dead ass. It's over with.
Whereas Merno's body was continuously shown having to rip right through space-time itself, and now finding himself unable to maintain control, that's when Merno went on to shout, I have to stop it! I have to regain control, come on, stop!
Look at that.
Ugh, the force of that attack was too great, he says, as he was now finally able to maintain balance and then being shown having to drop down to a knee, invisibly now being shown more exhausted than ever before. That's when Merno went on to continue, what's wrong with me. How could I have miscalculated something like this? I wasn't even able to see him attack me. That's how fast he's become. Oh, he knocked the air out of my body.
How you like it?
I feel as though I am dying. Wait a minute, Merno then says. Where am I? I recognize this place. This is the Grand Palace, and I hear voices. Can it really be? As coincidentally enough in the distance, we then overhear how an individual went on to comment, I'm impressed. You did very well to help push your siblings today during their training, my boy. As to the shock of Merno as he went on to turn his head, he then had gone to notice that the very voices that he was hearing had come from none other than the Grand Priest and himself, as it was from that point on where Merno went on to comment, that's impossible.
Can he do this?
Me. If you keep this up, the Grand Priest says, you will surely reach my status one day as being the next Grand Priest of the multiverse, young one. But always remember, with great power comes great responsibility, especially when making the right judgment calls, Merno. It would be an honor if I did, Merno says. Thank you for your help today with showing me the proper way to train Whis and Cuz. Mojito was also very impressive too, Merno says. They all did great. There is still much for you to learn, the Grand Priest says, but here, I want you to have this.
Damn.
Your very own Grand Staff
Dang, he's swole.
to forge a great many things with. To serve as a righteous and fair angel, he says, as
Nigga
you
was swole all his
continue to
life,
grow,
bro.
allow your mind to be open, to see all things in life for what they are. Precious, the Grand Priest says. Girl, you sent me back in time. But why, Merno asks. Just look at this. Giving me false hope and comfort. How foolish of me back then. Since I'm here, I might as well kill them both while I have the chance. This was the day you betrayed me. The day that you went and turned your back on me, Merno says. But out of nowhere from behind Merno, that's when the Grand Priest went on to tell him, you will do no such thing. Look how much potential you harbored. I brought you here so you can see that even during your final days, I still offered you a chance to change. As my suspicions grew, so did my mercy. I tried showing you what you'd become, a fair and honorable leader, not a monster, he says.
You feel me?
Evil goes beyond one's point of view as it spreads indiscriminately with only one bias: pain, suffering, death. And despite me telling you that all life has meaning and should be protected, your mind was already made up. You didn't want to preserve it, you wanted to destroy it. I guess it's easy to make a deal with yourself when knowing that you aren't the one who will be paying the price, now is it? As all angels understood the nature of both good and evil, not a single one of them proceeded with bias. Except you. And because of that, you were judged. As Merno went on to quickly turn around by responding, and I will gladly continue to do it again, because if I don't, then who will? Who else will go against the hierarchy to call the Omni Kings out for their hypocrisy if not me? Why? Because I was meant to be a better ruler than them, and you know it. You were not groomed to take the Omni King's place, the Grand Priest says. You were given the duties to oversee life by acting accordingly. You were even given control over Universe 13 only to later have it be taken away from you. For as long as I stand in your way, he says, you will never complete your evil acts of genocide and carnage, the Grand Priest says. I will continue to do unto you what you have done unto others. First, I will make you understand the pain you have inflicted onto so many.
He spit on his face again, bro.
Wipe you out for good this time, and with Merno shown getting in the
another
face, it was only
Are you
that
serious?
Point where Merno went on to tell him, screw you.
That nigga doubling down.
Do you want to know what I think about all of this? Do you want to know what I think about you? This is what I think, Merno shouts. This is what you mean to me. As once again, in a total act of disrespect, Merno had gone in spitting into the Grand Priest's face not once, but now twice, as the Grand Priest had taken immediate action by them being shown having to punch Merno in the face with unbelievable amounts of force behind it, in which resulted in Merno's body once again being shown shattered.
Put my hands up, little nigga.
As one could only imagine how pissed off the Grand Priest is now.
No, I understand.
Having to chase Merno down,
I understand.
It was only from there before having to strike Merno again.
Fuck
where
him
the Grand
up,
Priest
dog.
went on to tell him, I
understand.
your disrespectful acts long enough.
That's what I'm
now
saying.
Suffer for them, the Grand Priest says. To whereas the sheer force and impact of the Grand Priest attacks were so intense that even our heroes now are beginning to feel the effects of this, as Jiren went on to comment this violent shaking. Their battle seems to be resuming elsewhere. Yeah, but who's winning, Kefla asks. Did Merno pull another trick out of his hat or what?
No with the girl. No with the girl. That's it. It's up for that nigga. That is up for that nigga, bro.
I do, but
that
it's
nigga
all
done.
over the place, Whis responds. It's hard to get a good read on what's going on between them since they are well beyond our own reality. Take a look over there, Vados points out. I'm sensing vibrations coming from that direction. Something's coming through the other side, as indeed this was the case, because with Merno's body now shown shattering through reality once more and now entering the present timeline, it was only from there where Broly and the others went on to comment, look, over there! He's back, Kefla shouts, but where's the Grand Priest? It looks like he's heading right for us, Golden Majin Buu says.
They put their hands up, though.
Can't back down now, Vegito responds.
No, y'all good, man. Chill, bro.
Merno's body being shown having to hit the
Put them hands down, bro. Y'all good. Y'all straight.
Heroes now being shown getting into fighting position, Vegito went on to comment, stand your ground, Jiren. We could engage at any moment. I'm ready, Jiren says. But with Beerus then noticing the Grand Priest hovering above him, that's when Beerus went on to say to himself, he's completely unscathed. This war is over. I can feel it. Your thirst for revenge and power is what now became your greatest tragedy, the Grand Priest says. I kept this power from you because I knew, after learning of your intentions, that by helping you reach such levels would it only result in the complete destruction of everything as we know it. You are beyond the point of victory, defiler, the Grand Priest adds. You are now only acting on your own instincts to survive because you know this war that you have waged has now finally met its end point. You are surrounded and outnumbered, and just in case you happen to get the wrong idea by wanting to use your interdimensional portals to escape, just know that I have disabled that ability from your arsenal too. You showered the multiverse with the blood of so many, yet here you are, barely able to cling on to your own life. You came so very close, boy. But to borrow one of your own phrases, you failed, the Grand Priest says. As with Merno now being shown surrounded by everyone, that's when the Grand Priest went on to continue. How fitting then to be judged by the very creatures who you deem to be unworthy to live. Ironic, isn't it? As with Merno then shown having to look over his shoulders and noticing how indeed he was surrounded with no other means of escape, that's when the Grand Priest went on to tell him
they can't do shit, to be honest.
Here, these will be your final moments before you are destroyed. And unlike before, your ability to transfer your spirit elsewhere has been negated too. Especially now since I know about how you were able to survive the last time. It won't happen again. If
it's
a
up for you, son.
multiversal attack forged through the power of every living life form couldn't kill me, then what makes you think that you'll do it, Merno asks. You're a slave. Break your chains and see the things that I am telling you to be true. You are just a pawn to them, with the Grand Priest responding, how deceived you are, Merno. Which surprisingly enough, that was when both of the Omni Kings went on to teleport besides the Grand Priest by responding, I've heard enough out of you for one day, fallen angel. Yeah, I agree, says the second Omni King. Your own delusion is what's driving you to kill. Yeah, and the Grand Priest isn't our slave, the first Omni King says. Without him, the entire multiverse would have already fallen apart. He's what brings balance, he says. That's right, the second Omni King says, and he doesn't lust after power to do the wrong thing either. And if you really want to know, we actually listen to the Grand Priest's advice more than our own. Yeah, because we know that whatever decision or action he wants to take, it's for the sake of preserving balance within the multiverse, the second Omni King says. Yeah, that's right, and because of him, we are also able to acquire a similar battle form to his. You little runts also have a supreme...
He did say that, bro. He said the Great Kings, he did say that shit, bro. You telling me Zeno got hands, bro? Nah, bro, this nigga had a pipe dream this whole fucking time. These niggas, so you telling me these niggas base power, bro, is squish? That's their base power, bro. Squish niggas out of existence, bro. But these niggas got hands too. You try to. Oh my god, bro. Nigga, you were done, nigga. You
battle form
you never had a chance to begin with.
Trained you? He didn't didn't train us, but we helped each other, the Omni King responds. Admittedly, he is a lot smarter with his decisions, which was why the decision was made to throw you out of our kingdom.
This nigga had a whole pipe.
Yeah, because we knew that if you had received the same level of training and had also acquired a similar form to us, then you would have used it for all of the wrong reasons, and we weren't going to chance it on you. We agreed to get rid of you because you had no understanding of what true balance is, the Omni King says. If you were allowed to remain, then you would have erased everything, the Omni King adds, and we weren't going to let that happen, especially since that's my duty,
he
not
pulled the
yours.
Thanos.
You should have known your place in all of this.
Balance.
Creating new timelines and
that's everything should be.
is our job, the second Omni King adds. We are the ones who create, and we are the ones who destroy.
They got
You
the
were
best
a
of both
great angel,
worlds.
the first
You
Omni
feel
King
me?
says, but when you saw that my word is law, you rebelled. And you rebelled because you think we aren't fitting leaders because we are so playful. But we aren't so playful once you get on our bad side either, which you just did, says the second Omni King. Before any action is taken, we first meet and consult with the Grand Priest only because he has the best intuition. He knows how to create balance, and so we just act on it once it's set in stone. You were so jealous of our power and influence that you lost your mind in wanting it. You were ordered to be destroyed because it was what was best to keep the balance of the multiverse, the Omni King says. And since your return, all you've done was throw it off its course. You are a greedy creature, the Omni King says.
Greedy
so
ass
very
nigga.
Prideful and filled with so much hate and rage. All because you couldn't be like us, an Omni King. Once you are erased and gone for good, the balance of the multiverse will return as it was, with Merno responding, "You talk about fairness and balance, you, a childish, hot-headed creature. You wanted me dead because you were scared of my potential." As once again, in the ultimate act of disrespect to the shock of everyone there,
Don't do
Merno
it.
did not
No, he
take the
didn't.
liberty to hold back despite having to be face-to-face with the Omni Kings, and from there being ballsy enough to actually go as far as to spit at both of the Omni Kings at the same time. With Merno visibly frustrated, that's when he went on to shout,
Kill that
"Here's
nigga.
what I think
He's up for
your
that nigga.
balance."
No,
He's
he didn't.
crazy, Beerus
That
shouts.
nigga,
How
what's wrong
could he
with this
just do
nigga?
that? As with the Grand Priest now very angry as the Omni Kings were looking down on their shirts and seeing Merno spit,
my
but
God,
deranged Merno
bro.
had saw this opportunity.
If they crash out and looking like end up looking like this nigga, I understand. Zedchad, I understand. Look at him.
As being the one that he was looking for, as Merno went on to shout, "I didn't waste millions of years rebuilding myself to be lectured by the two of you. No.
Put hands on the nigga, bro.
This
Put
is
hands
my
on him.
chance. Let it be known that if I'm going to go down, then you can rest assured that after everything I've been through, the two of you are going down with me." As with Merno now shown placing his energy into his hand in his attempts of having to strike the Omni Kings, it was only right before having to make contact with the Omni Kings where Merno's brother Whis went on to step in by grabbing onto his arm and shouting, "You will not! That's enough, Merno! You again, damn you, Whis!" "I think it's time," the Omni King says. "Should we imprison him for all of time, or should we eradicate him without a choice?"
Eradicate that nigga, bro.
"I never wanted to lose any of my children, but
fuck
the
a
choice
prison.
is clear.
Eradicate that
His existence
nigga.
poses too great of a danger to be
Yeah,
kept
the hell?
alive.
Fuck a
He
prison.
will be executed right here, right now."
Yeah,
As Merno went on to
prison?
Whis by shouting, "You mindless slave! Don't you see that you are just pawns that they could destroy at any moment? Let go of me and stand by my side for true liberation." "But they're the ones who gave me purpose and true meaning," Whis says, "as it was to be the guardian and attendee of the seventh universe." As out of nowhere, we also then see how even Merno's sister Vados had taken the liberty in punching Merno in the face by telling him, "First you wanted us dead, and now you want us to aid you? Our
That's what I'm
purpose
saying.
was already given. We know our duties as guardians and protectors, not destroyers. You were the first angel to learn about the true nature of both good and evil. And
Jump
what
that
did
nigga.
you do? You tried setting the example of siding with evil when you were supposed to simply understand its effect, not use it to your advantage." With Whis also shown punching Merno in the face by telling him, "You went from helping us to torturing your own kind. You wanted total command over all life so that it could be used
Get
to
y'all looks in, bro. I
favor
can see that
every
you're gonna
liking.
jump
We
that nigga.
watched as you
Ooh,
slaughtered your
ooh.
own siblings in cold blood. I could never side with someone who is willing to turn his back on the very children he's helped grow, only to kill them after. The real traitor is you. As with Merno's sister Margarita also being shown having to now jump in elbowing Merno in the back of the neck, that's when Margarita went on to shout, "This is for Lord Belmont and for the Pride Troopers you've destroyed. For all of the blood you spilled in the 11th. You think we don't know what you're up to," she asks. "Wanting us to help you only to be killed after, that's what you wanted, right? To destroy everything and create a new race of angels who were only slaves to your every command? We didn't forget," Margarita shouts, as it was within that moment where Merno had finally had enough and beginning now to power up in such a ferocious way that it was seemingly enough now going to be all or nothing, as Merno went on to shout, "This will not be how my story is told. I'll kill you all if it's the last possible thing I do. Everything that I have," Merno shouts, "that will be what I will use to kill you all right now." But then, before Merno could act on his words, the Grand Priest had gone and sticking his arms out by shouting, "Celestial paralysis."
Oh shit.
"My body, I can't move," Merno says. "We have experienced enough," the Grand Priest responds. "The final chapter of your story is written here." As we only then take a look and seeing as to how Merno's body was beginning to levitate, that's when Vegeta went on to ask, "Hey, look, what's happening to him? He just froze in place." "A binding ability," Jiren says. "He's lost complete control over his body and his essence held in place."
So how we gonna do this?
Out of nowhere, with chains now being shown having to grab onto every part of Merno's body, it was from that point on where the Grand Priest went on to address Merno by telling him, "Let these Omni chains be what holds you in place to witness your ultimate destruction." "This can't be," Merno says. No, not like this. Not again."
Yeah.
Then shown having to be bounded by angelic chains, that's when Beerus went on to
hold up, Zenchan, get your looks in, bro. Nigga spit on y'all, bro.
Only ever been used once before, when Merno was originally exiled. As they now bind him in place and paralyze his power, there is only one other thing that awaits him. Death, Beerus says, and Merno cannot believe it as Merno shouts, "Curse you all! Don't do this to me! You can't! How could you have balance without me? You need me!" Merno shouts. "You are all cowards!
Well, fuck you!
Release me from these chains! There is nothing that you can possibly say to me that will excuse you from what's about to happen," the Grand Priest says. "You had every opportunity to do that before, but you spat in my face instead. Or is it died? And the order that we fight to preserve will never be destroyed by corrupted souls like you. Can we ensure that he won't come back this time?" one of the Omni Kings asks.
Facts.
"Can we ensure that he is erased forever?" with the Grand Priest responding, "I can assure you that he will never be seen or return ever again. Great Omni Kings, I ask you both to come and assist me in this. His erasure will come from the very ones he was seeking out from the beginning." "How could there be good without evil?" Merno shouts. "How could you call for the balance without evil being present to balance it? You know my potential," Merno shouts. "You know my strength. You can't do this to me, you spineless coward. You know that I will be back."
Nigga, he like tossing that shit out like a motherfucker. Like, coward, nigga. Nobody ran from you this whole fight, bro. Nobody ran from this nigga, bro. Not Goku, Vegeta, no Beerus. Nobody ran from this nigga, bro. Who he calling a coward, bro? Who he calling a coward, bro? Like, nobody ran from this nigga.
Just like before, and I will do whatever I need to in order to see my revenge through, with the Grand Priest then being shown getting in front of Merno by telling him, "You can never come back. After learning more about your spirit separation abilities, in placing pieces of your soul into other vessels, I made sure that the entirety of your soul is sealed. An eye for an eye, as you would say," the Grand Priest says. "Your hate won't set you free, but there's only one thing that can. Death," the Grand Priest says. "I'm sorry for this, child. I never wished to fail you," with the Omni Kings then also being shown stepping forward by responding, "You were actually so much fun to watch before we found out who you truly were. What a shame that this is what it's come to," the second Omni King says. "Mark my words, the three of you," Merno shouts, "that once I break free from these chains, I am going to gut you all like animals. You can never kill the god of all gods."
Why is he talking like this? Nigga, look at him. Who you about to gut like a fish? And they got hands too.
Whoever said you were, the Grand Priest responds. As he was then shown sticking his arms out, that's when Merno went on to respond, no, don't do it. What you are about to experience comes from the core of who we are, myself and the Great Kings, the Grand Priest says. When you live by the sword, there ultimately comes a day where you die by the sword. As the Omni Kings also went on to chime in, this is what you get. Bye-bye, evil angel. Yeah, bye-bye forever, angel.
Oh my God.
It was only right then and there, within that moment, as Merno had gone and screamed for the Grand Priest to stop, that was when all three of them had come together and shouting Omni Annihilation. As with Merno now finally beginning to feel the effects of the Omni Annihilation, that's when Merno went on to utter, no, I'm falling apart. I'm disintegrating. I won't perish without you. As despite Merno falling apart and literally being erased right before everyone's eyes, in his one and only attempt of doing what he could in reaching out to punch the Grand Priest, there was nothing that could have saved Merno.
You're embarrassing yourself, man. Stop.
And his body. As with Merno's body now shown falling apart as he is slowly being erased, that's when Merno went on to utter, how could this be? I was the perfect angel. I was bred for greatness. My destiny was to become the king. And so this is your unity. My vision ripped away. Father, why? And all that I've done, I've failed, Merno says. As with Merno now shown having to scream in absolute agony, it was only then shown seconds later how indeed the once fallen angel and governing attendee of Universe 13 had now been completely destroyed, courtesy of both the Omni Kings and the Grand Priest.
And good riddance.
Also appeared to be a very eerie moment of silence, as all that remained were the dust
particles. It's like, you know what I'm saying, is he gonna come back again?
Particles of where Merno once stood. It was only from there where the Grand Priest had gone and bowing his head by closing his eyes and uttering, I'm sorry. Unbelievable, Jiren says. How terrifying, Vegito says. I don't sense Merno's life energy anywhere. Is this it? Is Merno truly gone? Amazing, Margarita says. Do any of you sense Merno's energy anywhere? I don't, Vado says. And if there was no way he could have escaped, then is it over for good? With Whis responding, I would only hope so. Grand Minister, was this it? Has Merno been destroyed once and for all? With the Grand Priest then being shown turning around by responding, the war is at long last over. Merno has fully been erased for good, with the Omni Kings having to cheer on by responding, well, that was so much fun, especially when we got to erase him together. Well, this was the greatest day ever. Yes, I know, says the second Omni King. This was so exciting. I haven't erased someone like that in a very long time. We did it. We did it. The fallen angel is finally gone for good, they shout.
Hip hip hooray!
Victory! We had so much fun with the goddamn time. Indeed it was, sires. What a day this has been for all of us. Thank you for entrusting me by allowing me to use the full scale of my power against him. It was truly an honor. I am very happy to see that you've enjoyed yourselves throughout this event, Kings. And now that Merno is vanquished for good, it is time that we rebuild. Merno's actions have resulted in a great deal of damage to life itself, the Grand Priest adds. With multiple universes destroyed and trillions of life forms dead, there is much for us to do in order to fix his mistakes. Let us begin the healing of the multiverse, beginning with this one. As with the Grand Priest shown having to raise his arm in the air, we only then make our way onto a nearby planet 1 hour later, with the Grand Priest having to address everyone by telling them, I cannot possibly begin to express my gratitude to you all. Thank you very much for all that you have done to
real fine for their fucking life, bro.
Without your actions, Merno would have likely had won. Mighty Warrior of the 11, thank you for your service and dedication, the Grand Priest says. As your reward, I will see to it in bringing back your fallen Pride Troopers and God of Destruction Belmod. And to add to your reward, you will be allowed one wish with the Super Dragon Balls once they are collected. And you, Margarita, thank you for never giving up
Jiren got a wish too?
Such overwhelming odds, the Grand Priest says. For your reward, you will be given a vacation once your destroyer returns. returns.
Maybe go on a vacate.
Jiren and the Grand Priest shook hands. That's when Jiren went on to respond by telling him, "Thank you very much, Grand Minister. It was an honor to fight for the survival and victory."
Niggas fight for their life, bro. Niggas deserve a vacation, bro.
To witness your true power in battle. "I will be seeing you very soon, young warrior," the Grand Priest responds. "Thank you. It was an honor, Father. Thank you for everything you've done for us," Margarita responds. "Thank you for the amazing battle," the Omni Kings went on to chime in. "We can't wait to see you all again one day. Take care now." Until next time, Universe 11. As with Margarita and Jiren shown taking their leave, it was only from there where the Grand Priest went on to address both Vados and Kefla by telling them, "And as for you, Universe 6, thank you for showing how tough you were during such dire times and for helping the other warriors in this fight. It was an honor and my pleasure," Grand Priest Vados responds. "Thank you for putting your faith in us to see this through. Your universe will be restored along with everyone caught in Merno's wrath, which includes the Saiyan Kaba, the assassin Hit, and your god of destruction, Champa," the Grand Priest says. "We appreciate you believing in us," Grand Priest Kefla says. "Ah yes, as for you, Saiyan warrior, just like Jiren, I will see to it to give you both one wish using the Super Dragon Balls once I visit planet Sadala. Thank you once more."
Damn, everybody getting a wish.
Now shown taking their
What
leave,
would they wish for? I don't
"Oh,
know.
hell
What
yeah,
would they want?
right on. Thank you, Grand Priest. We'll see you all soon, especially you, Universe 7. See ya." "Well, it looks like our fusion really made a difference, huh?" Goku asks. "What incredible power, right? Even though that angel had the leg up on us, without you, we wouldn't have pulled through, Vegeta. Thank you for trusting me," with Vegeta responding, "You're really annoying, you know that? I told you that I'm never fusing with you again after that, and I mean it, Kakarot. I did what was needed, so that's
keep saying
all
that
you
shit.
get from me." As out of nowhere, Beerus had gone and tugging Goku backwards by the ear by shouting, "Hey, don't assume that I forgot that you almost got us killed out there," Beerus shouts. "You're lucky you're useful, Goku. Otherwise, I would have destroyed you long ago. But I will say this much," he adds. "Despite your stupidity and lack of common sense in battle, you did very good out there, both you, Vegeta, and your fusion," with Goku responding, "Wow, thank you, Lord Beerus. And now that we both have the ability to use Ultra Instinct," Beerus responds, "maybe one day we'll find out which one of us can use it better. We would have died if it were not for you," Whis went on to bow by telling the Grand Priest, "Thank you for your help and thank you for believing in me. You are truly a noble and brave angel, Whis. Thank you for doing what you could to buy me the time that I needed. And as for the two of you," the Grand Priest says, "thank you for being the pillars of your universe. As your reward, you will each be given one wish by the Super Dragon Balls when I visit you again." "Oh wow, how gracious of you. Thank you very much," Goku says.
They both get a wish?
Hear that, Vegeta? "We each get a wish with the Super Dragon Balls.
What would y'all wish for?"
Wish for, with Vegeta responding, "More than likely for you to permanently keep your mouth shut is what I'll wish for," he says.
Damn.
"Or perhaps having the dragon ensure me that no matter what happens, I can never join bodies with you again."
Damn.
Warriors of the 7th, Son Goku,
It's not
and
that deep,
Vegeta,
fam.
"Thank you for all that you have done to ensure everyone's survival," the Grand Priest says. "You are both extremely gifted, and I cannot wait to see what lies in store for you next. Your training with me has paid off, young warrior. I am forever thankful for your service, Vegeta. Count on it, Grand Minister," Vegeta says. "It was an honor to fight alongside you. And as for you, words cannot express my gratitude, Goku. Thank you for your service in helping us," with Goku responding, "You bet. Thanks for believing in us and for giving us a chance," as the Omni Kings went on to shout, "So long, Goku. We hope to see you again really soon. Take care, Zennies. Maybe one day I'll get the chance to see this ultimate fighting form that you guys have too.
That's what I'm saying,
Maybe
huh?
one day soon, Goku. Stop by and say hi anytime," the Omni Kings shout. "Have you lost your mind or what?" Beerus whispers. "What's wrong with you? You want to see the Omni Kings fighting form for what? You're going to get us all killed, you idiot.
'Cause why
Let's
not?
get out of here before you make things worse than what they already are." Before we go, so what exactly are you going to do now?" Goku asks. "With all of the damage Merno has left behind, when can we expect to have everything go back to the way it was?" "A fair question to ask," the Grand Priest says. "Immediately, as a matter of fact. I've safeguarded the Super Dragon Balls in another dimension in case Merno went looking for them. The Dragon Balls will be used once we return to the Omni Palace," he says. "There, I will summon the dragon and restore all of your worlds along with bringing back all those who were slaughtered by Merno. The Super Dragon Balls don't have an expiration when used, so I'll be sure to use and gather them back together immediately." "Oh wow, Goku says.
Yeah.
So those things can be used over and over and over again, huh? That's actually pretty impressive. Well, I can't wait. Thank you guys for everything, Goku says. You really are something else. Until next time, safe travels, Universe 7, the Grand Priest says. Boo was able to see all of your memories and you stink, Majin Buu says.
Damn.
You're a really mean guy. Boo never wants to fuse with you again. With
see,
Frieza
that I get.
Good. Now get away from me. I've seen enough of you for one day and so I never want to see you again. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us, Broly, Goku says. Planet Vampa will be restored soon, so there you will find your friends waiting for you. I'm very proud of you, Goku says. Thank you for also helping me, Kakarot. Maybe soon we can have that rematch that you promised, Broly says. Alright, I think that's everyone. Are we all ready to leave, Whis asks? Is there anything
Time to
keeping
go home
you from coming, Goku? Yeah, come on, Goku 17 says. As soon as Earth is brought back, I want to go and see my family and relax, with Goku responding, sure thing, but just hold on for 1 second, everyone. I've got one more thing that I need to do before we go. As with Goku then being shown having to approach Frieza, that's when Goku went on to tell him, now I know the two of us don't really see eye to eye on anything, but if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to do this. You kept your word to me, and that's all that matters, Goku says. I owe you one, and I haven't forgotten about what we spoke about either. You didn't have to do what you did out there, but you bit your tongue and still did it anyway. We appreciate your help, and I hope that the two of us can meet again very soon, he says. I never thought I'd say this, but thank you, Frieza. With Frieza being shown having to swipe away Goku's hand by telling him, get your filthy hand out of my face, monkey. I don't need your pathetic praise. I didn't do this for any of you. I did this for me and only me. What's done is done. And with Frieza then shown having to take his leave, he then went on to tell Goku, remember, this isn't over between us, Saiyan. I'll be seeing you real soon. Same old Frieza, Goku says. You're just like Merno in a way, never wanting to change. Nevertheless, we couldn't have done it without you,
that nigga too,
thank you
low-key.
for sticking by with us until the end. And the next time we meet, I'll keep my end of the deal and give you the rematch that is owed. And as everyone was then shown having to wait on Goku, that's when Beerus went on to shout, what are you doing, Goku? Are you just going to stand there all day, or are you coming? Because I'll have no problem leaving you behind since you want to take all day to say your piece with Frieza.
Oh, what? Fuck that nigga.
Frieza is up to something, Vegeta says. I can see it written all over his face.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, Beerus shouts. Let's get a move on, Saiyan. I don't have all day. Sorry about that, you guys, but I just had to make my peace with Frieza, Goku responds.
Forget that nigga.
He did play a big part in helping us against Merno, with Beerus responding, yeah, now let's
go.
No. As Universe 7,
I feel you, Beerus. Yeah, man.
That's when Goku went out to shout, see ya, Zennies. Thank you, Grand Priest. See you around. Damn it, Goku, you are going to get us killed, Beerus shouts. Shut your mouth. Oh, there's always something with the two of you. You know, I really like Universe 7, one of the Omni Kings says. They're all so much fun. Yeah, I agree, especially Goku. I like him. I can't wait to see them again one day, with the Grand Priest responding, indeed. What a remarkable and special group they are in the 7th.
You goddamn right, bro. We built different.
Home, Goku went on to chime in. We almost lost that one for good, but we pulled through, you guys.
I was fighting for our goddamn life.
This encounter for as long as I live.
Bro, I'm going to train.
The original Merno is beyond anything I would have imagined him being. No matter what we did, he just didn't want to stay down. And after seeing how strong the Grand Priest is, I can't wait to hurry back and continue training.
That's what I'm saying,
bro.
Bro.
A long road, and I can't wait to see what
I'm
lies
training
ahead.
non-stop.
Not before getting Bulma to make me something to eat, you won't. We battled long enough, and I'm hungry. So unless you want to get on my bad side, then contact Bulma and get her to do that first. This is all your fault, Kakarot, Vegeta says. Besides, once we eat, I'm not letting you get ahead of me by training alone, he adds. I see what you're trying to do. Hey, lighten up, you guys, would you, Goku says? Besides, I'm hungry too, so let's do that first. And don't worry, Vegeta, I haven't forgotten about that primal powers of yours either. It'll be an honor, Goku says. To where as we only then make our way Anyway, back inside of the Omni Palace, with the Grand Priest being shown having to oversee the multiverse, that's when the Grand Priest went on to comment, "Well now, everything seems to check out the way it should, and all of the previously destroyed universes that came from Merno have been restored. And from what I see, it appears as though each of the timelines that Merno's clones had also affected are also fixed. Let's make a note of that here too then. Each timeline and dimension affected has been corrected. The amount of damage Merno has left is certainly impressive for one to do, but I will make sure that there is no stone that is left unturned, especially with all of the destruction he's caused," the Grand Priest says. "The angels have returned, the destroyers have returned, and the mortals killed in the process
all is well in the
returned.
multiverse.
Wonderful." And lastly, the Grand Priest says, "His name. The work is at last now done. History has been corrected and restored. And to think that it was almost lost, too. We are very lucky to have the Omni Kings grant me the permission I needed to fight. Otherwise, all would have been lost. Normalcy may at last resume," he says. "This day will forever be remembered and written in history as being both a dark and glorious moment in time. And now there is much that needs to be done," he adds, "especially since the angel law have now been rewritten. As new angels rise, they must be taught to never follow in Merno's footsteps. I do recall the Omni Kings now creating 5 new universes for us to mold and forge," he says. As with the priest now being shown having to put the law of the angels / the book of life onto an altar, he was then being shown having to walk away and entering into another chamber by responding, "I wish the outcome would have been different, Fallen One. The purpose of life is for it to be lived freely. You succeeded through intimidation and fear, and I will make sure to see to it that this never happens again. Experience is a hard teacher because it presents the test first and the lesson after. A generation which ignores the events of history has no future if there is nothing to learn from," he says. "And through your actions of nearly destroying everything, we have learned a great deal, in fact. And as we enter the dawn of a new day, a new chapter in each of our lives will be written. But how they are written and whom they are written by will remain to be seen."
The Book of Life.
We now take our final look at the Book of Life, which is also known as the Book of the Law of the Angels. It was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the original Merno versus the Multiverse manga chapter series then comes to a close.
5 new universes, huh?
What a journey we had in embarking on this journey just to see how far corruption can actually go to destroy someone. As
this nigga was a fucking menace.
Even when staring at the face of death itself, Merno was still not willing to back down anyway, because despite having to be overpowered, despite having to be overwhelmed, despite even having to be outnumbered, Merno still, despite his body being shown disintegrating, had attempted to attack the Grand Priest anyway. As you can even see it on the Grand Priest's face.
It was up for this. It was up for that nigga. It was up for that nigga. It was up for that day, bro. I had to make sure there was no post-credit scene, you feel me? Oh my god, bro. Ooh, we done with Merno. Man, that man. Since the first video, bro, this nigga was a menace, bro. He just stood on business, bro. Oh my god, bro. It took the Giga Chad Grand Priest to put that boy down. That nigga survived the multiversal spirit bomb. It did do damage though, but he barely survived though. He barely survived. You know what I'm saying? And we know that the Omni Kings got a battle mode too, a fighting mode. It's ridiculous. But I'm going to train my ass off. When I say train, I mean after I'm going to take my break, eat my food. You know what I'm saying? After a long, hard-fought battle for the multiverse, I'm going to hit the lab. I ain't coming out. I'm going in one of these fucking chambers, Pyramid of Power, the Time Chamber, something. I'm going in something. You feel me? And I'm not coming back out because that nigga was a menace to the multiverse, bro. I can't believe that shit. Like, damn, bro. As soon as that nigga said, bro, bro, you're not ready for my all. I was like, that's up for that nigga. He was still holding back while Merno went full power. I was like, bro, stop it, bro. You lost already, bro. It's a pipe dream, bro. And then the Omni Kings got a power battle mode too. It's like, he stood no chance to begin with. No chance. Oh my god, bro. Them niggas was fucking boxing, bro. Them niggas was shouting timelines, dimensions, realities. Them niggas was going, bro. Ah, damn. I ain't gonna lie. See, niggas lucky I'm not rich. I'm like, Alex, you wanna make this, you know what I'm saying, a fan animation? You feel me? Niggas lucky I ain't rich, bro. Oh my god, bro. This animated, bro, it'll be lit, cause it's a small, concise story. You know, this will be lit. This would be lit. Same thing for the top 5 too, bro. Like, damn, bro. But yeah, animation though. Saying time and money. Unfortunately. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys enjoy this reaction, man. Hit the video up with a like, comment down below, and subscribe. Road to 3K. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Follow on Patreon, Twitch, and the game channel. Link in the description down below. You know what I'm saying? Because Diamond should be out on my Patreon. Yeah. But yeah, also get access to 2 million subscribers. You feel me? Because I did see the shit about the Dark Lords. No. Dark Masters on some Digimon shit. You feel me? I gotta see what the hell going on there, because he back apparently. So I gotta see what happened. And there was no like cliffhanger here, so yeah. But anyway, alright y'all, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.